All right, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you're following us from based on your location. Welcome here to the Monrovia City Court, and we're coming live from the Capitol to bring you live updates on the first court appearance for lawmakers charged in the Capitol Building Arson case. So just yesterday, we were at the Monrovia Central Prison, and these lawmakers were bailed out of the Monrovia Central Prison after making 2 nights at the Monrovia Central Prison. So former Speaker Councillor J. Fonatikofa and 4 other lawmakers who are charged with the Capitol Building Arson case will this morning be appearing here at the courts for a preliminary examinations. And this morning I have with me veteran reporter Fabien Koya, who's going to walk us through, give us some of the details as it relates to the case. Good morning, Fabien.
Good morning, Tony, and good morning to our many listeners. As my colleague rightly said, we are here to cover the case involving former Speaker Fonatikofa and 4 others that were allegedly linked to the burning of the Capitol building in December 2024. Well, then last week Friday they were brought in for questioning at the police station, and later on remained at the police headquarters where they were detained for the first night at the police headquarters, and on Saturday morning they were brought to court. But being that this court is a lower court and charges levied against former Speaker and others is above the jurisdiction, they could not secure a valid criminal appearance bond, and so they were sent to jail on Saturday. And so they spent Saturday night and Sunday, and then on Monday they were released. They were released to the lawyers after providing or securing a valid criminal appearance bond in the tune of $440,000 US. And there are 2 other co-files, probably they are related to the former Speaker, where the sureties, and so this means that they are on temporary bail. They are being billed temporarily. Yes.
Does that also mean that everyone involved with this case were all bailed out, including the lawmakers?
Yeah, sure, they were all bailed out, and so today we expect them to be coming very shortly, because I just talked to the lawyer and he confided and convinced me that they are on their way, and so they will be at the Monrovia City Court this morning to hear the preliminary hearing, and the hearing is intended to compel the state to prove probable cause on all the charges that they were charged for. But remember, after this at the Monrovia City Court, it will not end yet, because as I said, it's criminal charges levied against them, and you have like arson, aggravated assault, because it was amended. So aggravated assault is included criminal attempt to commit murder, criminal conspiracy, criminal facilitation, among others.
I think endangering lives of others also.
So from the Monrovia City Court, the next time we're going to hear this case will be at Criminal Court A, but I'm told an indictment has been drawn. What I'm told,
we also, did you see his legal counsels here, that their legal counsels this morning?
Yes, I saw one of his lead lawyers, Councilor Jonathan Massacre, and I spoke to him that they are on their way and they will be here for the preliminary examination here at the Monrovia City Court. So
when their charges were read to them on Saturday, they were also told that they have the opportunity to engage this case as a group or individually.
Yes.
How is it being done?
Yes, once you people are being grouped together for any offense, it's your right to have separate trial. That is to pray for severance. And I'm told that I got my information that Basilia Cooper will have a separate trial. Probably she don't want to be with the others. So it's a right either to be jointly tried, or if they feel that they are not satisfied with something, 1 or 2 persons can call for separate trial, and that will be granted. Definitely. That's a right here.
And so in cases like this, we all know presenting the evidences will also contribute to how much time the case might take. But how does it work in cases like this, in terms of how long do we expect to see outcomes or to see the case being adjourned?
Okay, so probably it's going to be speedy trial. I cannot speak for the court, because people will turn this as a high-profile case, and they want speedy. It is, and they want speedy trial, and the criminal courts are in session for the 42 days and will be winding down. So probably probably if they will come back, that means during the next court opening. But as I said, all depends. If they want speedy trial, once they go to the grand jury and have a true bill and have probable cause, probably they might start in the term of the court or the next term of court.
Okay. Yeah, and also we will not have the opportunity to go in the courtrooms. But how much time do we have until the hearing starts? And what specific hearing is going to be held today in the court?
I mean, the charges are levied against them there. Probably the lawyers going to plead for them and think that the charges were in the right ones or they are. So it's just preliminary. It's not the actual case or the beginning of the case. So in preliminary examinations, there are so many things that can play. Probably the lawyers might ask for time, or probably they might say the clients were charged wrongly, blah, blah, blah. But as I said earlier, this is a criminal matter and it's not going to remain at the level of the Monrovia City Court, but rather will be transferred to the criminal court. And sometimes we talk about time, all depends. All depends on the court term. Probably it will exceed the number 42 days as far as maybe 3 to 6 months. All depends.
Okay.
Once it's a speedy trial and the government have sufficient proof, if they build up the prosecution team, they might go further or they might be very, very speedy.
And I know some of these cases usually have terminologies attached to them as to who is going against who. Is this Government of Liberia versus former Speaker Kofa and others, or what's the nomenclature attached?
Yes, Republic of Liberia, versus Kofa and others. Because the government is the one prosecuting them, and there are prosecutors in the case, and so it will be Republic of Liberia by and through versus Fanatic Kofa and others.
Okay, I mean you're so versed in this, judicial matters. So it was good having you this morning. Like you said, you don't have time; you have to go secure your seat. I don't want to keep you, unless there is anything lastly you want to mention.
No, we will. I will be back after the hearing.
Sure.
But as you can see here on the grounds, there are a few journalists that are around, and
some of the lawmakers involved are also arriving.
Yes, no, it's Calando.
Okay.
Councilor Calando.
Councilor George Calando.
With his wife Priscilla Cooper. There.
Okay. Do they have a case here, or are they here?
This is Priscilla Cooper, one of the lawmakers involved.
Sure.
So she's the one.
Yes, Priscilla Cooper is already here.
Escorted to the court by her husband, who built out for her.
Okay. Good morning, man. Welcome. That's Madam Priscilla Cooper. She probably might not want to have a word. All right, so she's making her way into the cafeteria this morning. I guess obviously she might just want to have a breakfast this morning before she can head for the preliminary examination itself. But folks, you heard it from our colleague Fabien Koya, who is a seasoned judicial reporter assigned here for ALBC. And but this morning, as you can see, we just showed you the arrival of a lawmaker, Priscilla Cooper, who is also involved in this case, who, according to what we've been told, will be taking on this case individually. She will not be with the rest of the group members or the other lawmakers who are involved with this case. But come to think of it, Josh Kailando also is a legal counsel, and he happened to be the one accompanying her this morning. We just showed you her arrival. But quickly, if we can run you through, you heard from our colleague Fabien Koya, who was giving us some of the details as it relates to this case this morning. According to her, this is not going to be the actual court hearing. This is just the first appearance of these lawmakers since they were bailed out of the Monrovia Central Prison yesterday. So in her word, it's just going to be a preliminary examination of the charges that have been labeled against them. It's obvious their legal counsel might have some reservations as it relates to the charges that have been labeled against these lawmakers. So that means they might want to be looking into the charges to see if some of the charges aren't worth what the government of Liberia is claiming. So some of the charges might be dropped, some of the charges might be maintained. So, I mean, we're still awaiting the arrival of these lawmakers, but you are seeing a few of them arriving one at a time. Madam Priscilla Cooper is already here. We are hoping we will see that Honorable Martin Kula also arriving there. You will also you will see top political figures here today. Key national figures will be here today, obviously. As this case has the nature attached to this case is obviously a high-profile case. You can't rule that out. So, but let's run you through some of the happenings before we even got here in the first place. So on Saturday, these 5 lawmakers were invited by the Liberia National Police. According to the police, they have gotten through with their investigation, and before them, they had all of the evidence pointing to these 5 lawmakers as being the ones allegedly responsible for the Capitol Building fire incident on December 18. And so they were caught here at the criminal court. Their charges were read to them, and they were immediately taken to the Monrovia Central Prison, where they spent 2 nights, Saturday night and Sunday night. And of course, on Monday morning, we all were at the prison on Monday morning bringing you the updates. First thing in the morning, we visited the Monrovia Central Prison, and also we saw a fleet or a convoy of lawmakers, majority of whom are members of the then minority bloc as is related to the impasse that was on the Capitol Hill. Speaking of Nima County Representative Musa Hassan Bility, we also saw Thomas Yaya Nimle. I mean, a whole list of lawmakers were at the Monrovia Central Prison, obviously in sympathy of their colleagues. But we spoke to Nima County lawmaker Musa Hassan Bility, and he was the one who broke the news to us that the lawmakers were bailed out and that they were leaving the Monrovia Central Prison, and that this morning today they would have made their first appearance for a preliminary examination, which we're here to bring you live to bring live coverage for. So wherever you're following from, we'd like you to keep following, stick and stay with us. We want to keep whipping the camera around, keep showing you the actions as more of these key national figures appear. Lawyers, legal counsels are all arriving here on the grounds of the courts. So wherever you're watching from, we'd like you to keep following and keep watching. Basically, we'll be out here to bring you the updates. We'll obviously not have the opportunity or the chance to go to the courtrooms, but as it stands, few of the lawmakers, probably just one, we saw Madam Priscilla Cooper, who is already here. So keep following LNTV, keep watching, and once we can show you sure. So while we're still here, we'd like you to keep following us, and also probably we can also give some recognition to those who are following us. Wherever you're following us from, you are also vital to this process, so we would love to probably just show some of the concerns that you are leaving under the video. I mean, your concerns are also important. Someone says they're watching us from Grangeda County, from as far as the southeast. Thanks for following. Someone says they're watching us from Des Moines, Lower USA. Also, someone is also watching us from Nigeria, and so there are a lot of folks who are on the live broadcast. My colleague Fabian is still around, but we will still get to her once we have any additional details about the broadcast this morning. So yes, while we're still here, you can follow the actions and keep watching the arrival of the lawmakers here this morning. My name is Anthony Williams. I'm here with my teammates Aaron Talu, Fabian Kwea. Aison Yiba is also on the standby in case of any eventuality. We'll also be bringing you live coverage from all right. Keep following, keep watching, Okay. All right. So my colleague Fabian Koya will now make her way in there to secure a seat for herself. She's the one from whom we expect more of the details. And so those are the legal counsels of the government of Liberia. And it's been flanked by security detail. And so now they are heading into the courtroom already, as you can see. Yes.
The Solicitor General, along with the County Attorney, Solicitor General, Councillor Augustine Fire, along with the County Attorney, Richard Scott, have just entered the Monrovia City Court.
Sure.
So that signifies that they will be part of government team that will be hearing the preliminary examination for Councillor Kuva and others.
Okay.
So they are there in court, taking their seat there.
Does their arrival now mean any moment from nights ago?
We hope to see Kuva and others here.
Okay, definitely. Thank you, Fabian. We'll join you once you return. That's Fabian Kuya giving us update there. But I mean, that's it. All of the lawyers, those are representing the government. You saw the Solicitor General being flanked by security. So keep following us, guys. Keep watching the action here. We're basically here to show you all of the action and the happenings this morning. So wherever you're watching from, we'd like you to stay put and keep following LNTV. Yes. Sure. All right. So a lot of you are following. I'd like to thank you for watching. Keep following us. So yes, still can stay with us. Lots of you are following. Francis Sto is also following us from Lokintown. Thanks for watching, Francis. We have Solomon Reeves, who is also following from the headquarters of the Harvest Liberia. Lariton Koya, provided if I got that right, is watching from Zweju. Prince Cooper also is following from Dupo Road. Lots of you are following. Solomon Tade, thanks for watching. Solomon Tade is watching from the US. De Moines. We also have Charles. That's Otis Myers. Otis Myers is also following. Preston Paul, Jamal P.S. Jamie is also watching. Where you're watching from, thanks for watching. And my colleague Aison Yiba is also here on this broadcast. We will be sharing ideas, bringing the discussion to you as it continues. For those of you who are watching us quickly, let me join my colleague Aison Yiba quickly, who is coming on set to also add his 2 cents to the analysis. So yes, we're going to stand right here. Yeah, we're going to stand right here, and then we can just run you through this broadcast. My colleague Aison Yiba is going to follow us. Let me zip this quickly. Aison, welcome. You and I, in fact the entire team, we've been going through these proceedings since they started, especially on Saturday when the lawmakers got taken to the Monrovia Central Prison. You were here yesterday at the courts, and it was expected that they would have made their first appearance, but again, we also it didn't turn out to be like that. They were built out strictly from the Monrovia Central Prison, and they went their different ways. But let's go through what really transpired yesterday, and then we can link it, or probably go back to Saturday, and then we can link it to yesterday and today, as they are expected to make their appearance for preliminary examination.
So thank you very much, Anthony, and we love to say thanks to our followers. Well, yesterday was a scene of a bit of tension because coming from the angle of some of the political leaders, it was anticipated that, well, we would have saw a large gathering here yesterday because they made it clear and said, well, we are moving to the Temple of Justice in solidarity of the 5 lawmakers that were incarcerated at the Monrovia Central Prison. So, but then later on we saw folks marching, coming towards the Supreme Court, but before the departure of the lawmakers from the central prison to the Supreme Court, as was anticipated, the bill was actually filed.
Yes,
and then secure property bomb, a little of 400,000 bomb was filed, and that actually eased the tension, because once the guy heard that, well, they are five bomb, the property bomb, to have the 5 lawmakers released, so they thought it was that, well, we don't have to go to the court again, because it will mean nothing.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, so folks, yeah, before I came over, before I came over.
I know, but I communicate yesterday.
Well, this is obvious, and he's one of the jovious guys you found.
Did he say we jammed his phone?
Yes. Yeah, so
how?
I don't know.
We got jammed on that?
Jammed on that to jam. If you are saying we jam your frequency,
yeah, fine, that would be something. How can we jam your phone?
Yeah, but obviously this is just in passing.
He's interesting, yeah?
He's a bit comical, yeah.
Oh, okay.
While doing his job, he's a bit comical, yeah. Yeah, but back to the issue. So that actually eased the tension that we would have saw folks in support of the lawmakers coming here. So yesterday we awaited them, but upon the fine or securing the bond, they just thought it was to come from the Monrovia Central Prison and go straight to the headquarters of the opposition, CDC. Because mind you, prior to filing the bond, we saw the former president of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable George Manawia, and we also saw, but let's see, who is this individual?
I guess this is the
Honorable former Speaker,
J. Fonati Kofa.
Honorable, welcome.
This morning. Sorry. Good morning, Honorable.
The evidence produced by the prosecution.
So that's Councillor J. Fonati Kofa arriving there.
Yes.
We want to see if we can pick a chance and have a word from him.
Let's see if we can do that.
Let's have a word from him.
We can do that.
Once he agrees to talk to us, we can just quickly, just a question. And but he's already here. He's making his way into the criminal court C, already awaiting him.
Honorable Councillor, good morning.
Are you ready to speak,
well, it appears he doesn't want to talk to members of the press this morning, but
so
we are hoping. Good morning.
So how do you feel?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel
Are you confident of this?
So he says he feels Honorable DD there. He says he feels confident. Councillor Kofa also doesn't want to say a word.
This is Josiah Marvinko,
Honorable Josiah Marvinko. Welcome this morning.
Why is it important that you're here?
Came to witness the process, and that is why I'm here.
There are others who have said this is more political than legal. You were invited at the headquarters of the LMP. You were let off. What do you have to say concerning this process, sir?
Again, I want to reiterate, the police did not allow me to go. God allowed me to go, and because of my character, and I've always done the right thing. And if you are accused, it's proper. You may have said available for you to be exonerated, and that is just the process.
Your colleague Frank Safoko termed the entire investigation at the police headquarters as being a very calm and good investigation. How do you term that?
The police, when the police invites you to the headquarters, they are not your friends. So I can't term it as being kind. The procedures were just followed, and if the procedure is followed and you have not committed any crime, it is incumbent on the police to have you released. So it is God that released me.
There are folks who believe that people like you should have been indicted rather than letting you go.
There are folks who believe that people should not go to heaven, but because God knows that the people are serving diligently, and He allowed them to go to heaven.
Are you convicted that your colleagues are innocent of these crimes?
You still call on people to come out, or you want the process to play out?
That's Honorable J. Marvin Cole there speaking to us. He has given his own words, his own perspective of this situation. You heard it from him. He was speaking to us and giving us his own view.
So we can say.
Let's just climb up.
We can say for a fact that we had the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, and also the District 3 lawmaker from Grand Gita, Honorable
Jacob
JB. So he's already here. And then one person who was actually let go of the 7 lawmakers was the lawmaker from district.
That's J. Marvin Cole.
Yeah, J. Marvin Cole. And I see Priscilla Cooper.
Yes, we already saw Priscilla. So
she's been led by her legal counsel.
That's Priscilla Cooper there making her way also. So gradually we are seeing the arrival of almost all of the lawmakers, except we've not seen Abu Bana Kamara yet.
Have you seen Dixon Sibo?
I also haven't seen Dixon Sibo.
Okay.
So we've left with 2 now. We have Councillor J. Fonati Kofa in there. We have Priscilla Cooper in there. We have Jacob DB in there. That's 4. That's 3 already. So we're looking out for Abu Bana Kamara.
And I can also say that the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Augustine Faya, is already in. Because I was sitting in for Fabin when you guys were actually going through.
Yeah, you're securing a spot for her. It's tough in there, trust me. Actually, this morning. So we look forward to seeing Dixon Sibo and Abu Bana Kamara, who, according to the news we gathered while at the Monrovia Central Prison, has some medical issues, but that we were informed they were handled, obviously. And but again, this is it. I mean, the action is here this morning. You've seen the lawmakers. You heard Marvin Cole, his process with the police, as it was said by his colleague, he did not describe it as being a friendly encounter, but though Friend Safoko made it clear that his encounter with the police was professional and friendly. But you know, Marvin Cole is the tough kind of guy, so you expect that, obviously.
So yeah, obviously you will expect that, but there is another side to this investigation. But let's watch and see. I see you Rep 55.
Yeah, obviously
and
this Sibo could be bringing another lawmaker.
Be Dixon Sibo.
Sure.
But let's see.
Yeah, let's see who comes out.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, well, we're still looking out. Arisen. Lots of actions taking place now. The action taking place. Okay. So more arrivals taking place. We're looking forward to see the arrival of Dixon Sibo and Abu Bana Kamara. So once the both of them can arrive, then it means the preliminary examination has kicked off already. But I'm not sure they can kick off the preliminary examination without them, obviously, in my mind.
Honorable Cole, we see you going out. What exactly happened? Were you thrown out? Were you thrown out from the court?
For what?
So I want to know why you.
No. I was never thrown out. So I left at my own volition, and I decided that I'm going to run after other things to see how we can mitigate the legal process. So we will continue to talk to people. We'll continue to encourage our people to make themselves available to the due process, to the rule of law, because we have always sat on the principle of the rule of law.
What are your convictions about these charges against your colleagues?
I'm not a lawyer, but I strongly believe the burden of proof is on the one who accuses you. So the state has a responsibility to prove beyond all reasonable doubt. And when that is done, if they can prove their accusation against our colleagues, that's the law. If they cannot prove it, then our colleagues should be acquitted and let them be as free as I am.
Do you trust the process?
Which process?
The judicial system.
The judicial process.
Well, I trust the judicial process. I can tell you that for fact. But I am hoping, and I continue to encourage them, that the influence of the executive will not be exerted on them. I know that there have been instances where the executive has exerted efforts and the judiciary decided to stand on and say, no, the law is the law and the rules of law must be kept. So I trust the process and I trust the judiciary.
There are people who say the folks like Tomo Edrich, who were already incarcerated prior to the former councillor going there. There wasn't any attention given to them.
No, as far as I know, that's one of the reasons why you see somebody that going out this morning. My understanding is the lawyers are working tirelessly to ensure that they have the bond, and that bond will be filed, and then they will be released. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for talking to us. That's Honorable J. Marvin Cole there answering to a few of our questions again. I just know you were very interested with the previous question about if he was being thrown out.
Yes.
That was quite hilarious in my mind, I guess. But he made it clear that he's going to run after a few things. It was just, it didn't take a minute when he went in there, so it was kind of interesting to see him going out quickly. But again, you heard him. He said he do trust the judicial system or the process, but he also doesn't believe that the executive will have anything to do with this, because he has seen instances where the executive have come in to make it known that the law is the law and people should observe the judicial process.
Yeah, so like I posed a question to him, and there are folks who believe that the issue of Tomo Edrich, and the guys, Suse, who were already in prison prior to the lawmakers going at the Moravia Central Prison, and we did not hear that level of anxiety, the support, the call for their immediate release. But once it comes to the lawmakers, where you saw the public went wild and calling for the immediate release.
You just heard him that he's going to work to make sure they can have a bond. So the assumed information that was being told that the bond covered everyone that was involved, that is obvious, can obviously now be dismissed because they weren't freed yesterday. So that means he's now going to secure a new bond to have them out, obviously.
So as part of the investigation, we also listened to the Director of Police Inspector General yesterday on ERBC with Vafli Kamara, and one issue that was key during his appearance on the radio was the issue of people threatening hierarchies of the police. And he was very clear, obviously, and said, well, we as officer of the Liberia National Police, we took oath to defend and protect the nation. So if you are threatening an officer of the law, well, the police is ready and will be in the position to defend themselves whenever there are attacks coming from the public to the officers that were actually mentioned on Facebook. You saw people posting
that was very alarming.
The contact numbers,
names of family members
where their kids are attending schools and what have you. And I saw that as very belittling to the former of our country. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's in my mind. In fact, even from the end of the police, that it's obviously a security threat. I mean, you are putting out key details of these people, thereby making them vulnerable and endangering their lives. So obviously, I mean, these actions like this could even lead to another investigation. Actions like this could even lead to the police inviting you for questioning. What are your intent for making the basic information of these people public? So obviously, that obviously is a complete security threat to the lives of the officers. There were even folks making putting out, in fact, making announcements or putting out information for top officials of government to be gone after. Do you understand? For they and the family to be chased after.
Yes, obviously,
which was obviously wrong, and we even saw some of those people coming back and trying to retract or retrieve the statements that they made, claiming they didn't make them. That's the thing about social media
now.
See
the former SG Councillor Serena Sifos.
Yeah, he's always here. You obviously see the lawyers here always.
I don't know.
He probably might have another case. Yeah, he probably might have another case. But again, obviously, like we were saying, these things are very dangerous for our country's security. And yes, I mean, come to think of it, while it's true that this case is a high-profile case, you would expect these kind of actions from politicians because of the nature of this case. Those involved are politicians, hardcore politicians. It's fine. Some of these people, come to think of it, Councillor J. Kofa was once the House Speaker of the Liberia House of Representatives. This political nature attached, though when you ask the government of Liberia, they will come clean and tell you they are not targeting between politicians. They are trying to set a deterrent for what transpired on December 18 off Capitol Hill. The Capitol Building is the symbol of Liberia's democracy, built by our forefathers to represent our country's legislature. So what transpired obviously painted a bad picture for our country on the international scene. And come to think of it, Liberia had just joined, in fact was just elected on the UN Security Council for a non-permanent seat. Speaking of security, you can have a country that always projects chaotic scenes on the international world, and expect to be taken serious in terms of security. You can't be the one representing what is considered one of the countries on the security panel of the world, or representing Africa now, and have actions like this being exhibited in your country. It doesn't show a good signal for Liberia. Police IG also made mention of that. He stressed specifically on Liberia's current status on the UN Security Council. So going through these legal proceedings and having the security or the police to exert their authority and power, to instill peace and stability, contributes to what Liberia represents on the UN Security Council as a member state. Come to think of it, we are a founding member of the United Nations. And once the UN represents peace, we also have to show similar representation to the world.
Obviously, and up to current, I'm yet to see any post.
So it appears now, but again, keep watching. We are yet to see the lawmakers making their way out. But they're still in there. Like we said, this is just a preliminary examination of the charges, or putting forth the evidence that the government also do have from both ends. So we're still here at the court, city court, where the 5 lawmakers involved in the case in Arson are here this morning for preliminary examination. We spoke to some of them, but we're yet to see them making their way out. We expect that they'll make their way out any moment from now, but we are seeing signs. So they arrived here this morning along with their lawyers. We also saw Representative Priscilla Cooper, who was accompanied by George Kailondo, who is also a legal counsel. Well, we don't know if he's the one representing her, but we are told that she's independently taking on her case. Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, who earlier said he will dislodge all of the evidence that has been placed forth. He believes, according to him, he's convicted, that he's of the conviction, sorry. He will obviously win this case. It's going to take some time, guys, but you can see us. It's going to take quite some time as we are waiting. So where are you watching from? Tell us. Leave a comment in the comment section. And as we go through this broadcast, once they're coming out, we get to engage them and see if we can talk to them and hear from them. But at the moment, it appears the examination still continues. At the moment, it appears the examination still continues. So,
investing, and that was being objected to, but then the judge later on sustained it is you
Yes, sir. It's going to take us quite some time. Court proceedings aren't just, they don't just happen like that. So it's going to take us quite some time. We are still waiting to see the departure from the courts. But like we keep saying, this is just a preliminary examination. This is literally not like an official appearance or to start the hearings or the proceedings. So it appears, but from what I'm looking at, we've been told, from what we are being told, is that the court has called for a break. In fact, that's why we saw the Solicitor General walking out, and other key figures who were in there, they've walked out. We're also seeing media practitioners who were giving access to the courtroom, though without cameras. They're also making their way out, and I'm just looking at Dixon Sibo there. He is already out. Dixon Sibo, the lawmaker, is already outside. So we guess this might come to a closure, or obviously they might be going for a break to return eventually. We cannot confirm that, but our colleague Fabian Kuya is in there. Once Fabian comes out, she's going to give us all of the details. She's going to fill us in as to what's transpired in there. But basically what's happening today is just the 5 lawmakers along with their legal counsels in there, and they are proffering the arguments, basically to review the charges, see what charges can be dropped, what charges can be accepted based on what evidence is available. So once Fabian Kuya come out, our colleague who is in there, we will be able to talk to her. But already we have 2 lawmakers who have left the courtroom. We have Honorable Priscilla Cooper. She has already left. And we also see Dixon Sibo there, as you can see him. He's walking out. And so currently now we can say in there we only have Honorable J. Fonati Kofa, we have Abu Banakama, and Honorable Dibli. They're the only ones in there now. We have 2 lawmakers who are already left the courtroom. So probably since we are hearing that they're taking a break, it could be that they're just out for the break, but we don't know. Priscilla Cooper left off. She drove off with her vehicle, but her legal counsel left here, so probably she obviously doesn't necessarily have to be there. But again, let's wait for our colleague Fabian Kuya to fill us in with the details as to what's transpiring here at the court. So any moment from now, once she's out, she's going to join us quickly. But we'll stay here. The lawmakers are in there, and the proceedings are ongoing. So folks, still here. So we are waiting to see the lawmakers making their way out. We are hoping. Well, we also see the Solicitor General making his way back in there. He's making his way back in there. So obviously, I guess they are resuming from the break. So once our colleague Fabian can come out and update us, we'll know what's happening there currently. But going back, you won't bother me. If you want to tell Fabian if you get time, let me know. So of course, we're still seeing that's George Kailondo earlier here with my Honorable Priscilla Cooper. We've been told she's engaging this case individually, so it could be all of them who engage the case as a group, but we've been told she has decided to separately take on the case herself. So lots of happenings here at the courts, but basically we are yet to see the lawmakers coming out. We only saw two of them, like we keep saying. Honorable Dixon Sibo has left. Priscilla Cooper also has left. So once it's been almost an hour now since it's been almost an hour now since they went in there. So it's expected that it might be out anytime soon. We don't know specifically, but wherever you're watching from, keep watching. So like we keep saying, basically. So we are seeing the arrival of former CDC party chairman Mobake Molu. He's also now accompanying Dixon Sibo. They are going back in there. This is just a preliminary examination, also known as a preliminary hearing. Now, a preliminary hearing is a crucial stage in the criminal justice space or criminal justice process, where the prosecution must demonstrate probable cause to believe that the defendant committed the alleged crime. So that means the hearing, that a preliminary hearing or a preliminary examination, it provides the defense with an opportunity to challenge the prosecutor's case. That is to cross-examine witnesses and also to potentially present evidence before the court. So that's basically what's going on in there. That's why the lawmakers are in there, basically to present just preliminary hearings, cross-examine the evidence that the prosecutors do have. So basically that's what's going on. So seek and stay with us, keep watching, and once they're coming out, we're hoping to have the opportunity to talk to them. So folks, so we are being informed that we will still have quite some time to make here. So while we await our colleague Fabian Kwea to join us outside, we'll end this video and rejoin you because our colleagues there from the Ministry of Information, Culture, Affairs and Tourism are about to go live also with the Ministry of Information's regular press briefing. So once that is done, we'll rejoin you. We are hoping before then the lawmakers will be out for us to have a conversation with them regarding what transpired during their preliminary hearings. Follow for more. All right, so welcome back. We just want to briefly walk you through what transpired quickly here at the criminal court, the city court precisely, where 5 lawmakers charged with the Capitol Building Arson case have appeared for preliminary examination into the case. Earlier this morning we were here, we brought you live update. We spoke to some of the lawmakers who are involved with the case, and my colleague Fabian Kwea, who was judge in the court itself has got the details and she's going to run it through. Fabian?
Well, earlier on this morning, former Speaker Falanti Kofa, along with other lawmakers to include Dixon Sibo, Abu Kamara, and Jacob Dibi, came and they appeared at the Monrovia City Court. And they were all escorted by the court officer to sit on the prisoner's bench. And precisely about 10:23 a.m., the preliminary hearing started, and they commenced with prosecution. But before then, making a submission on the matter, District 5 lawmaker Priscilla Cooper, lawyer, asked for a submission to swear on the court, and that was to waive preliminary examination.
Does that mean she didn't want to be part of the
so waiving her rights to preliminary examination and hearing means that she wants separate trial.
Okay.
She don't want to have a jointly trial with other members there. So the judge granted that because it's a law. You either ask for it or you waive it. So it's a law. Once the judge granted that, she left the court along with her lawyer, Councilor Kalando. And then the case was called for other prosecution. Came and paraded the first witness in person of one chief inspector from the criminal division of the Liberia National Police, Peter Johnson, who said they had enough evidence for the lawmakers to be prosecuted in the arson attack at the Capitol. And he went drilling us through from the other suspects, Thomas Etheridge and Iwi Susuye. What he said in the city court was just exactly what he did mention. And so they argued, and the judge reserved, he didn't reserve ruling anyway, he postponed the case because at the level of the magisterial court, when it's 12 May Day, they don't entertain criminal cases.
Okay.
And so the case is set again for tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Same time?
Yeah, same time. And so probably it's going to be prosecution producing another witness, or they might continue with the first witness, but whatever the case is, the court has adjourned and will commence tomorrow 9 o'clock here to hear it. So probably they're going to come along with other witnesses. We don't know because witnesses are not being publicized. So we're going to see what prosecution will do tomorrow as to whether they will parade another witness or still have Peter Johnson on the standing police officer.
Okay. So now that the state has agreed, or it has been agreed that Priscilla Cooper is going to take on her case individually, separately, if I may say, that means the other 4 lawmakers are taking the same legal counsel to represent them.
That I can speak for now. Probably they will be jointly tried together, but Priscilla will not be part of them where they are being jointly tried together. So it's here right. So we don't know, or we can't speak for the court.
Sure.
Because once she called, she waived preliminary hearing and then have Kofa and others seated to listen. I'm sure before we be joined, will be tried jointly, while Priscilla will have separate trial.
Definitely.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Fabian, thanks for the details. So, folks, we've been following this case since Saturday when the lawmakers got taken to the Monrovia Central Prison. 2 nights out there, and then this morning marked their first appearance. But you said by tomorrow, same time,
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay. So we hope to see either the prosecution, which is the government, parading another witness, or maybe we'll continue because once he took the stand, he has to be cross-examined by defense team.
Okay. Okay. All right, folks. So that's it. This is how we'll bring this to an end. Thanks for following. Tomorrow by 9 a.m. same time, we'll be here to bring you all of the details. My name is Anthony Williams, and my colleague is Fabian Koya. We'll rejoin you shortly.